Hey, what's up? And thanks for checking out this video. My name's Thaddeus. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down for you the three different types of content that you need to be creating in order to generate clients, sales, and new growth inside of your business, your personal brand, whether you're monetizing using information products, digital products, physical products, courses, coaching, whatever it might look like for you. These three types of content we're going to be talking about today are going to be the fuel to help you continue to generate more leads, more attention, and be able to nurture that attention into paying customers. Okay. So let's jump into this bad boy. But before we start breaking this stuff down, I want to kind of give you a little insight about why works, why this is a proven method, why these three types of content. Well, over the last 4 years, I've been able to generate multiple six figures and even seven figures all by leveraging organic social media, really turning my social media accounts into a brand and into a beacon for people who want to be able to monetize their passions, be able to turn their interests into income online. And by doing so, it has allowed me to really formulate and really look at and analyze and break down the three different types that we're going to be jumping in today. Okay. So this is going to be a proven method in order to play the long game, be able to create things that and create a content plan that's going to generate the outcome and facilitate the results that you want to see more of inside of your business. Okay. So enough about me. Let's jump right into this bad boy and start dialing in your content in order to generate more of those clients. Now, first things first, we have to really understand exactly how content works. Okay. Content as a whole really is about those three different layers. All right. And most people don't look at it this way because every social media guru online is going to be trying to tell you how to go viral and how to generate thousands of leads a day and all this stuff. But what they fail to do is set you up to play the long game, meaning it's all about the right now in this moment. This post needs to generate X dollars in order for me to hit my X total of income every month. Okay. You scroll TikTok, you scroll Instagram, you scroll all those platforms, and you're going to see the same regurgitated process, same regurgitated information, all trying to convince you that you need to be following their tips and tricks in order to go mega viral and blow up your business. But as somebody who has gone viral, multiple millions of views in his own journey, talking about me, I can tell you that that is not necessarily the best thing and even a soundproof strategy in order to generate the sales and the monthly income and all that other stuff. In fact, it is a much quicker way to lead to a burnout stage and really hate the business that you're creating because now you're not creating from a place of positivity, from inspiration. You're creating from a place of pressure. You're creating from a place of trying to follow what somebody else is doing. It makes you blend in rather than stand out. And in this year is 2024 when this video is getting made, the game has changed. It's not the same world when I got started back in 2020, where somebody could come on and recreate the same content as somebody else and go have just the same amount of results. Because that content has now been recreated and carbon copied over and over and over. And people are now used to it. This is why you see the social media dynamic shifting. You see it shifting to more focus of personal branding. Well, when it comes to a personal brand and being able to leverage your content in order to generate new clients, generate new sales, and then start to really allow that flow to take hold and continuously, predictably being able to generate lead flow, generate sales, filling up immediate bank is what people refer to it as, and what a very successful coach I once had refers to it as is also filling up that future bank, meaning that it's not just so much about the sales you create today, but it's the sales you set up to create a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Then now through momentum and that perpetual growth and consistency, we can then create something that's more predictable and that starts setting up and really being able to simplify everything down and make life so much more easier, really create that time freedom, that financial freedom, all that stuff we want when we started our business in the first place. Okay. So I'm not going to keep fluffing this up anymore. We're going to jump right into this, but let's really break down exactly what this whole content concept looks like in a visual aid. Okay. So, this is actually something that a lot of people don't spend enough time thinking about, which is actually the content funnel. Now, when you think about a funnel, most people are going to think about a piece of software. They're going to think about like ClickFunnels or Kartra or Go High Level or Kajabi. What are these platforms that build sales funnels? Okay, most people don't think about it in the form of content, but content works just the same way. Okay, so let's jump into this, and I'm going to start jumping down some visual aids, and then I'm going to give you a little breakdown of what goes into these three different types of content. So as you can see, like I said, it's a content funnel. So when you think of a funnel, you've got your typical little V shape, just like you're filling up your oil, that's the typical funnel. All right. It really is pretty cut and dry. But when it comes to the content, you still have those same three areas. Okay. You have three areas that we're going to focus on. Okay. Okay, so yeah, your three areas that we'll be focusing on and really breaking down these different types of content is going to be what is referred to as top of the funnel. Let's get some a little bit. Don't make fun of my mouse writing because it may not be that great. We got top of the funnel, we got middle of the funnel, and then we got bottom of the funnel. Okay, again, don't make fun of my stuff. And to really kind of give you what this looks like at the grand scheme of things, then we got the dollar signs at the end. All right. So our three pieces and our three sections of our content funnel is going to fall into top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. All right. Now, as we jump into this, those are going to be the three different types of content. But let's break these down a little bit further in as a way to really explain and display what's going to fall into these different types of content buckets, parts of the funnel, whatever you want to call them. Okay. But you got to think about this. If you look at the funnel as a whole, obviously the top is going to be much wider than the bottom. The reason for that is because the top of the funnel is meant to attract, it's meant to have more people coming in. And through that funnel, that audience get more and more narrow till we get down to the bottom of the funnel where it's going to be the least amount of people. But the goal is to bring them in and then allowing our content through our different mediums, whatever that might look like. And we're going to dive into that in just a second as we start breaking down this whole attract, nurture, and convert, which essentially is what top, middle, and bottom of the funnel is to attract, nurture, and convert. So, regardless of where you're posting content, we're going to jump into and really break down what kind you need to be throwing in there in order to make sure that we're hitting all three areas and then be able to construct a strategy in order to do so. Now, stick with me because at the very end, I got a special little freebie I want to give you to help with this content funnel. Okay, because this can be super confusing for someone who's not really looking at it this way, and a lot of people aren't. Okay, they're looking at it go viral, mega views, mega leads, everything else, and more without spending enough time hitting these other areas of their funnel in order to continuously nurture and convert their audience. They're expecting this whole section to do all the heavy work, and they've got people spilling out the sides like a glass that's over full. Okay, and we don't want that. You don't want that. I don't want that. You want to get the absolute most out of your content, and this is how you're going to do it. So let's jump into this bad boy. I'm going to pull this away. Give me 1 second. Let me bring out my next screen. Okay, so now that we're back at it, let's dive into the three different types so we can continuously hit all those little areas of our funnel. Remember, this is all about top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, otherwise known as attract, nurture, and convert. Okay, so let's jump into this bad boy and take a peek and see what we got going on here. All right, so as you can see, we've got these laid out in content type 1, attract, nurture, and convert. But before we jump into that, there's something you need to know and really understand when it comes to content, and that's the content mindset. Okay, by no means is this some big woo-woo thing. By no means is this something that is going to be all about, oh, let's fix your mindset, bro, and all that kind of bro marketing BS. Okay, it's not so much about that as it is about understanding the purpose of content. Now, you may not be able to see this. This might be a little bit too small. Let's see if I can make this any bigger. Yeah, can't turn that into something bigger. Let's go to heading 1. All right, there we go. That's a little bit bigger. All right, so that'll work. So when it comes to your content mindset, by no means is this a woo-woo session or some big long-winded mindset talk, okay? But the biggest mistake that I see coaches making, affiliates making, course creators making is pressurizing, just like we kind of talked about at the beginning of this video, pressurizing everything that gets published. And what I mean by that is they're putting all these expectations. They're putting all this pressure that this post has to make me 10K this month. This post needs to generate me a $2,500 client. This post needs to generate me a 300 leads this week. All this stuff. And when you come at content, when you come at something that is part of a creative process, and you put all that extra pressure onto it, it becomes such a toxic environment. Very little will come of it. You'll stink of desperation. You'll stink of sales. You'll stink of needing something rather than it being coming from a place of real, true value. It'll be the desperation of it will come out very, very clearly. And when you come at it with a place of desperation, that's what's going to have you coming at it with a scarcity mindset. We need to come at it with an abundance mindset. Okay. Instead, when we come at it with this abundant mindset, we can come at it with the whole concept of the compound effect. Now, if you're not familiar with what the compound effect is, it is all about small incremental actions that lead up to bigger results through progressive momentum. If you need a full breakdown on it, there's a great book called The Compound Effect. I can't remember the author's name, but it's called The Compound Effect. Absolutely amazing read, very easy, and it gives a lot of different examples of how this compound effect works. But when it comes to content, it's all about that long-term consistency. Okay, everyone talks about how content is a consistency game. It's all about being consistent. You got to show up consistently, all this other stuff. But when you come at it with a pressurized mindset in a way that this has to do X, this post has to do X, then now you are coming at it and putting extra pressure on it, and it's not allowing it to really come at it with a true, authentic value attached. Okay, again, it comes with that desperation, all that stuff. In simple terms, it means don't expect every post to go viral. Okay, you don't need to go viral every post. If you have some, I've worked with hundreds of clients, even my business partner, and I have seen them all go viral multiple times. Not because they were trying to, but because they removed the pressure of going viral and allowed themselves to create the content that falls into these 3 different content types in order to reach that new audience, attract, be able to nurture the audience that they're creating, and then be able to convert that audience into paying customers. Okay. So if that's something you want more of, I hope you're still with me. So let's keep rolling. Anyways, this mindset takes effort in removing the expectations. So you can then create and use these 3 types of content we're going to lay out here today. Okay. So we want to be able to do all the things, and we want our content to be able to perform the way we want it to. But we have to make sure that we are coming at it with a strategic point of view and having a plan. All right. With that said, let's dive into these elements. Let's break it down. I've eaten up enough time with a little bit of fluffiness. So let's dive into these things. So again, this is all about attract, nurture, and convert. All right. So now the first type of content that we need to be creating in order to really utilize our content funnel is going to be all about attraction. All right. So that's going to be referred to as that top of the funnel. All right. The purpose of this content is completely solely on attracting new people into our world. Okay. That means that we need to be able to share more aspects of not only our business, who we are, our values, everything like that. We're going to get into some of the topics that are going to be really fall into this content of attracting. But remember, it's more about that broader funnel at the top. Just like we put right here. It's all about that broader funnel at the top, making sure that we're attracting a broader audience that we can then nurture through the middle and the bottom. All right. Now, in order to do that, we got to hit those different types of content that are going to fall into that top of the funnel. Now, again, this content will typically get the most engagement of all 3 types of content we're going to cover here today. All right. So if you're getting lots of engagement on your top of the funnel, but not on your bottom funnel after implementing what we break down here today, well, this is why. Okay. It's meant to reach a broader audience. All right. Again, this is where it's going to fall into the broader topic basis. Stuff like achievements, things that you've worked on, things that you're doing, things that you've completed, milestones in your business, milestones in your life. Also it's going to be about where you share your stories. Okay. Again, we have to give people a reason to listen to us. Why should they listen to you? Not so much of that pressurized, like, oh, I've got to be this expert. But no, it's about that relatability. It's about that ability to connect with other people. If you have a business, we'll use mine for an example. I have a business that got started. I was a former 50, 60 hour work week factory worker. I had zero skills. I was a 38-year-old man with no beard. All right. So there's a lot of little stories that are going to come out of that that's going to allow me to connect with other people who have lives, similar lives. Yeah, similar lives. It's going to allow me to connect with people who have those similarities, those commonalities that they can actually connect with. Again, this is where the stories are going to come into play. It's also where you're going to be sharing big wins. If you have clients, sharing client wins is going to help you attract eyeballs because there's going to be other people who are like, oh crap, I want to be able to do that. How are they doing it? Let me go follow them. See how that works? Also, your personal wins. So whether you have clients or you don't have clients, your personal wins. Did you just book a vacation to freaking Europe? Share that shit. Okay. People want to be able to connect with you, whether that's through shared experiences or through desires of wanting to do the things that you're able to do. For instance, I work every day in my sweatpants, but I'm wearing sweatpants right now. I get to work in sweatpants every single day. All right. That is going to be something that appeals to other people who want to do that. But by sharing these things, sharing the lifestyle as well. And I don't mean just lifestyle of the rich and famous. It's not about rented Lambos and beach houses and palm trees. Okay. It's not about exotic travel locations. Now, if you are a travel person, then yes, that would apply. But it's about the lifestyle other people also want to be living. And it's not so much about lifestyles and the rich and famous. Most people just want to be able to take a trip whenever they feel like it. They want to be home with their family to have dinner. They want to spend weekends with their children rather than racing around running errands because that's the only time they have to operate. So when you think about your story, you think about your life, don't think about it so much about like, oh, I don't have this big, elaborate, exotic lifestyle. It doesn't have to be that way. It just has to be something that other people can relate to. And to be honest with you, I can't relate to somebody who's jet setting across the world. So I would never even be attracted to those people because that's not my life. I want to be able to relax and chill with my cats. Okay. I want to be able to relax and hang out with my wife when she's not at work. I want to be able to go to dinner or take an impromptu drive on a Thursday evening because we can. Okay. So again, your lifestyle, whatever it might be, sharing those little bits is what's going to allow other people to connect with you through your story, through your life, through your shared experiences. The way to look about this, especially in this top of the funnel, is document, don't create. The biggest mistake that I see people making is they jump into having to create content where they have to like, oh, what am I going to talk about? Oh, I've got to do this, I got to do that, I've got to, they put all again more pressure around content when it shouldn't be that way. So a simple solution to that is doing exactly what it says on the screen. Document what you're doing, document what you're working on, document why you're doing it instead of just trying to create something for the sake of creating it. So again, if you're hitting that wall and you're not really sure what all is going to fall into, how you can really deploy this top of the funnel, really look at what you do on a day by day basis. Whether that's you're going for a run, you're cooking a nice meal, you're working on some assets, you're just learning the ropes. Maybe you're brand new. Document the journey. Allow people to take part in it. Not only will they appreciate the authenticity, they'll appreciate the transparency, and then they will be able to see you as that expert through this top of the funnel content. because other people are trying too hard, trying to create something rather than just document and letting business and their life fuel their content. Okay. So remember, document, don't create. And then the very last important part about this top of the funnel, this top of the funnel or this attraction type of content, don't stress the CTA. Okay. So many people put the pressure on a CTA or a call to action. Maybe I should document that there. We're just going to call to action. That way it makes sense. People stress this call to action. It's like, oh, well, I've got to get somebody to join my Facebook group, or I've got somebody to join my email list. If we focus purely on allowing this content type to attract people, a simple, hey, if you got any value from this, make sure you follow. It's simple as that. Hey, and if you want more content like this, subscribe to my newsletter. Oh, hey, if you want to, you want to get the behind the scenes of how I'm doing X, join my email list. Whatever that might be. Again, if you come at it from a pure value, pure documenting type aspect, and you're just sharing the broader content, that's what's going to attract people to you and effortlessly get people to invest further into your business, into your world. And when I mean invest, I mean, download your freebies, join your email list, join your community, follow you on another social platform, go check out your blog or your YouTube channel, whatever it might be. Okay. But think about this top of the funnel is like, this is pure, no expectations. I'm not trying to get anything other than just new eyeballs. I just want new people to see me. And when you come at it from that point of view, this attraction, this type of content will perform way better. It'll be way easier to create. And it'll be way more effective in order to have the people that you want in your world. Okay. And I should have thrown something on here about as well, values, personal insights. Okay. When you think about value and personal insights, that's going to be, things that you actually, that mean something to you. Maybe it's family, maybe it's just honesty, maybe it's transparency, maybe it's authenticity, maybe it's, the simplicity things, whatever it might be, whatever values you hold dear, infusing those also into this top of the funnel is what's going to attract more people like you into your business. And I don't know if you've ever heard this before. And if you haven't, let me drop this little bomb on you before we move into this next phase of content, that your ideal clients, your ideal consumer is the previous version of yourself. So think about that when you're trying to hit and you're trying to leverage this first content type and attract more of an audience. Okay. So let's jump into content type number 2. And that one is going to be all about nurturing. As we jump in and we keep this train moving, we're jumping into content type number 2. It's all about nurturing your existing audience. Okay. This type of content is going to also be referred to as that middle of the funnel content. Remember, we'll take a peek back at our little funnel here. We had our top of the funnel, which is a little bit more broad. And then we have our middle of the funnel, which begins to narrow our audience. Okay. The entire goal of this, as it says on our little Notion little document here, let's bring this back up, is the goal is to nurture the audience we grow and make them more problem, solution, and product aware. Okay. This is all about educating them, not so much in the sense of giving them loads of information. There will be information shared, but it's not so much about giving them loads of information. It's about speaking to problems that we know they have, start speaking to the solution we know is available, and then also making it clear we have products or services that help solve that problem. Okay. Now we're going to do this through a multitude of different ways. But before we jump into this, again, this is that middle of the funnel. So you can expect less engagement than your top of the funnel content. Remember that top of the funnel is going to be more broad. Our middle of the funnel is going to get a little bit more narrow. So just expect that. But just know the people who do engage, they do drop those likes, they do leave comments. Those people are going to be more qualified to potentially become a client, to start doing potential outreach, so on and so forth. But we won't get into the sales process aspect of this. This is all about content. So let's jump into what's going to really fall into the aspects of middle of the funnel. Now, when you think of middle of the funnel, the best way I can sum this up is it's going to be fall more into tactics and strategies. Now, stories will come into play. Will still be very powerful in the middle of the funnel content, but it's going to be around tactics or strategies or your process that is going to be involved, because again, we want to further them and make them more problem aware, solution aware, and product aware. All right. In order to do that, this is how we're going to jump into this. So when you think about your tactics and strategy, a very simple way to go about it is, what do you do? What do we do? What is the thing that we do? From my aspect, I help clients leverage their personal brand, get better at content that enables to generate qualified leads to help them sell more of their information products online, leveraging social media and organic traffic. All right, now that might sound like a mouthful, but that's what we do. Now, there's a lot of different nuances to that. That's when we really dive into how we do it. This is going to be your stories. This is going to be also about what has this done for other people and ourselves. If there's been things that maybe it's helped us overcome major hurdles in our business, maybe it's helped our clients land new sales, or grow the business they've always dreamed about, or take that trip to Hawaii, whatever it might be. Okay, it's about what we do, how we do it, what has it done for others and ourselves. The more we can really nail this down, then we can start to make them more problem aware. We can make them more solution aware and make them product aware without saying, hey, look at me, I made some money, now go buy my shit. All right, because no one wants that. All right, like I said at the beginning, people are getting more savvy. That old shtick is running dry, and a lot of people are getting burnt out from that constant pitch fest that majority of people use social media for. But since we're going to be following and really leveraging our content funnel, we're going to be able to speak to different things, be able to hit those different areas, and be able to leverage our content more than just for likes and follows and comments. All right. So again, going a little bit further into this, you want to think about it this way. When I first got started, one of the biggest things that I was drilled in my head is, don't give away the farm. But what this does is it relies on curiosity, it relies on manipulative marketing tactics. It's not something that I wanted to be associated with. I don't like it. I don't want somebody to try to bait me into buying something through curiosity. I would rather know and make an educated decision, because the likelihood of me sticking around is going to be far greater if I'm well educated on what this is, what it looks like, what will it do for me, what has it done for other people, i.e., social proof, and overall, ultimately, kind of giving away the farm. Now, to alleviate any stress, all right, alleviate any worry, you will never be able to give away the farm through a 300, 500, even 1,000 word post, whether it's a blog post, a Facebook post, a LinkedIn post, whatever. You're not going to be able to give away the farm on a 10 image carousel on Instagram. You're not going to be able to give away the farm on a 60-second, 5-minute, or even 10-minute TikTok. Okay? You're not going to be able to really give away the entire farm through social media or content creation. What you will be able to do is be able to nurture, again, that's the goal of this, be able to nurture the audience that we're growing and allow them to be more educated on, i.e., what we do, how we do it, who we do it for, and what has it done for those people or ourselves. And through that, it will educate them and make them more no, what's the word I'm looking for? More in the know, I guess you could say, of what this will look like should they choose to take part in it. Okay. Again, it's only going to further that relationship. It's going to even further that expertise and that authority that you want to be seen as, and all of the things that we want to be looked at through our ideal client's eyes. So the way you want to do this when you're thinking about giving away the farm, think about that 30,000 foot overview. Again, you're not going to be able to give away all the little details that go into it. Trust me, I have tried. I have tried to give away the farm in a single piece of content, but there's so many little nuances to everything that we do, from just so much like a hook on a piece of content, or how to structure your business so it gives you more time, that there's no way that I'd be able to do that in a single piece of content. But if you look at it from that problem, solution, and product awareness, then we can start to really peel back and start to think about things from that 30,000 foot overview. Because when we think about how a problem with maybe lead generation is showing up in our ideal clients' lives and their business, well, then we can start to speak to it. And then how our product or service has helped us solve that problem for ourselves or other people. And through that, it will then now paint the picture of the problem they face, the solution to the problem, and a product or service that helps solve that problem. See how that whole linear little thing worked? Now we're not going to be giving away every little detail, but that 30,000 foot overview is what's going to allow people to then visualize it for themselves and make that educated decision to whether it's something for them for that will benefit them. And again, just like we looked back at this content funnel, is that you're gonna have some people that fall out. Okay, not intentionally, but because we might attract them up here, but they're just not interested yet. They're just not interested. That's okay. It's better to repel people and have the right people going through our content funnel than have a bunch of top of the funnel and expecting to squeeze dollars out of them because all we're doing is just living in this space up top. Okay. So just think about that as you're going into your middle of the funnel, your nurturing style content. All right. So we got one more style, and then we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. So don't forget, stick with me to the end. And I got a nice little special giveaway that I want to give everybody for hanging out with me and watching this video. So as we jump back into our cute little Notion template here, our final type of content is all about convert. When you think about the third type of content, which is all about converting our audience into clients. All right. So we've got our top of the funnel, we've hit our middle of the funnel. Now it's time at the bottom of the funnel. This is probably going to be the easiest type of content to make. And this is where a lot of people live, but then they wonder why no one engages. They wonder why no one buys. They wonder why they're not generating any new leads. They wonder why their business isn't growing the way they want it to. Now, without this type of content, you won't generate the sales, 100%. Okay, but too much of this content, you will bottleneck your lead flow, and it will literally turn off your audience. So it's really about having the right balance between all three, but knowing how to use this third type of content in order to actually convert the sales that we want to see. Again, the goal of this content is all about to convert our audience members into paying clients and customers. Again, this is going to be your bottom of the funnel content, and it's going to be the smallest portion of your audience. Okay. The smallest portion of your audience is going to find this appealing. And that is something we need to understand, because ultimately this is going to fall into the direct offers. This is going to be a direct offer to work with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, you might be running a promo, it might be a launch phase, you might be in just a special little micro campaign, whatever it might be for your business, whether you're selling your own services, you're selling products, whatever that might look like. But these direct offers are going to be how we let people know, hey, I've got this thing for you to buy. Here's a little bit of a little sneak peek of it and how to gain the access to the details, i.e., book a call, send me a message, click this link, whatever that might look like for you and your business. Okay. And again, if you're struggling to figure out what your offer looks like, feel free to always message me on IG. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about it. There should be a link in the description. Okay. But for this type of content, when it comes to your direct offers, the things that we want to lean on is stuff like scarcity. Is there a cart closing? Is the promo coming to an end? Is there a timeline? Okay. Are there limited spots open? Is there, like, again, a certain amount of time left in order to buy? Real world scarcity. Don't give that some of that fake BS scarcity that a lot of people use with gimmicky timers that all you gotta do is refresh the screen and the timer starts over again. Don't do that. Okay. Instead, use real scarcity, because then all that's going to do is create more FOMO for that next campaign, for that next launch, whatever that might look like for you. But that these direct offers and the type of content are going to be way more shorter in length. Okay. It's not going to be about long windedness. It's going to be, hey, I'm taking on 4 people who want to do X. If that's you, send me a message and let's have a chat. Simple as that. That's going to be like a paragraph worth of text. Okay, it's probably gonna be less text than what you see on the screen right here. But making these very direct offers is how we're gonna get people to raise their hand because because we have followed the rest of the content funnel. Okay. Now we've attracted people, we've nurtured those people. Now it's time to actually make the offer for them to work with us closely. And again, and also incorporating your own wins, your own social proof, people who have done what you've done, or purchased your product, or purchased your service, or a nice testimonial or a review, whatever it might be. Leveraging those things, is going to be how we're going to be able to really effectively use our bottom of the funnel content to show people, hey, this is something that you want to purchase and why you want to purchase it. And here's how to find out what the details are. But making this very direct and to the point on a consistent basis will allow us to continuously tip people over into our world, grow that client list, grow that customer base, and really blow up our business the way we want. But again, it's not all about just the conversion process. It's about leveraging all three parts of our content funnel in a consistent fashion in order to see the results that we want to see, both from leads generated to that audience that begins to raise their hand and say, I want what you have, and to the point where they become a customer. Now, when it comes to a schedule, when it comes to a plan, this is going to be my special gift for you. If you want a full breakdown of how to schedule out and how to make sure you're hitting this top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, including your stories, including a few templates, a few content starters, and really how to deploy your content, hitting all three areas of your content funnel while sticking to a consistent schedule that generates you leads, nurtures those leads, and converts those leads. I've got a free course, completely free, no obligation. It's going to be linked in the description. Feel free to check it out. It's completely yours just for hanging out with me for this longer video. And again, I appreciate everybody rocking with me, staying all the way to the very end. And that's going to be my special gift for you. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Go out there and start hitting your different areas of your content funnel and start watching that lead flow start to tick up, those people raising their hand for what you have to offer, and then seeing the value and having a smoother sales process because of it. Through this process has helped me reduce the amount of time that I have to spend in sales, reduce the amount of time I have to hop on sales calls, and be able to close sales with nothing more than a Google Doc and a quick DM conversation. So if that interests you and that's what you want to be able to do, this is how you're going to do it. These are the three types of content you need to create. So go out there, create that content. And if you need a little help, don't forget to check out that free course linked in the description. And always feel free to message me on IG, and feel free to click around and find another video if you like this content. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Catch you in another video. Peace.